Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Like each studio will perform various kinds of configuration and benefits to the end users. Like when you come into App Studio, it is coming. It will not have any kind of complex rules. It will be like some kind of print and kind of fun work. If you have any kind of print and kind of fun works, simply you can go and log in and you can make some kind of channels, related case types, those things and all. You can make it in App Studio only. Like Dev Studio, mainly who will use App Studio, like business analyst, like a front end people like that, those different people, they will use it. We'll come into our Dev Studio. Like Dev Studio is the main to a main component, main tool where end users like developers will be working on it. Like developers will be working on it. Like it will deal with more complicated rules. Like using Dev Studio, you can do whatever drinks you can do. Like example, if you wanted to have integrate with an external database, or like you wanted to integrate with and connect the integration you need to use, and then you need to get a system access from another system. Like if you want to log in with email, like you need to send automatically email to everyone. And if you wanted to have some kind of an in your local system, if you've placed and filed or automatically that file, if it needs to pick based system and need to work on it means those things. Completely like everything, you can do it in Dev Studio only. Like in Dev Studio, there are configurations. If you see here which will be similar to that App Studio, and you will have a new tool kind of things called app and records here. Under records it will be having various kinds of one-pager rules, whichever embedded. If you see we have these much of categories of rules in Pega. Each category will have 4 to 5 rules in which you can use to in order. Whatever you want to implement, you can implement in that way. Like example, you wanted to make some kind of a decision. Related changes means, then you can open decision. And here you have various things decision table tree. Declared expression on change predictive model proposition filter. Those kind of things you can do it. And then you can see various kinds of configuration things. Similarly, if you want to do UI changes means there is user interface. Here you will have various paragraph rule, harness section, everything. We'll discuss in the CSA, we'll discuss about high level in some of the rules here are categories and what is the frequently used rules. Example, in Pega, if you take 9% of your requirement, it can be done. If you are well versed with sections, and if you are well versed with activities and data transform, if you are very strong in that means you can do 95% of all the requirements. Whatever requirement you got, you can do it. Remaining 10% is only you will be getting with other requirements such as connectors and any kind of complicated rules. Before starting, whether you have any idea, in any what is Dev Studio and in you saw in your in any of your application, you saw anything? No, actually I have not started Dev Studio. basically. Like Dev Studio, like these, like user, like UI of an Dev Studio. And if you see here, like we will be having like various settings, like various configurations of what and all rules you wanted to create everything. You can see it here. Like when you wanted to create and rule. Like what you need to do is like you need to know like what rule you need to create exactly. Suppose if you want, like you wanted to create some kind of a section. Let's take like you wanted to do some UI changes. Like for that UI changes, if you want to create some rule, then like what you will be doing is like you will like, this is one of the way, like you have multiple ways of creating a rules. Like if you see like in records, there will be user interface. Like when you expand that, there will be section. Like completely want to design one form, like a first name, last name, like what is the address, like that in a one screen. You want to design and forming. Then like you can go to this section and then you can click on this section. Like when you click on this section, like what are the sections already created? It will be showing to you. Like who created and when it was created and by whom it was created. Everything it will be shown to you. If you want to reuse anything, just you can click on that and you can open and reuse. If no, you want to create fresh image, then like what you can do is like you will have an option to create. You can create from here. Whenever you are creating, whenever you click on create, it will be asking like what is the rule name of it. What is the rule name? What you wanted to keep it? And like what is the class of it? Like you might be here about class. Class is the context where the complete rule will be running. For example, like we have different case types, assistant request case type. We have service case type. We have whatever you are doing as part of assistant request, you need to create an assistant request class. Like whatever you are creating in service, like you need to have like service class. For example, if you see here apply to, if you see here like we have assistant request new and our service class. Whenever you are doing some changes, example in assistant request case type, you want one for one form, like one screen. In that screen, you need to develop first name, last name, address, everything you need to create a new system. Like where you need to create a section is like you need to create an assistant request layer. That like that section will be used only for that assistant request. Suppose you wanted to create a generic screen like where all these three case types can use, like example assistant request also can use, new vendor also can use, service also can use. If you see here in this three class structure, what is common? Till work. You will be creating as a this section that like when you create till work, like all these three things has common work, right? It will be accessing, like it can access this particular screen, like a go road hyphen work. You will be creating in that class that all the application, all the case types like it will be, whatever it is there in your application. It will, they can reuse this section. Suppose if you are creating an assistant request full like a work hyphen, assistant request means only assistant request case type it can use. You cannot use in new vendor or service case type. Understood? By assistant request. Why? Because it is specific for assistant request. Because after work we put assistant request. After work we put new vendor. Correct. Understood, only for that specific task you can do it. If you want generic means like all three, means like till work. If you keep means like assistant request also can access. New vendor also can access. Service also can access. This is the class structure. This one, we will say the session class. In the class, like whenever you are creating any rule, class is mandatory. That like it will be making sure like under what it need to run. Example, it need to run completely on assistant request or it need to run common generically. That many case type can reuse it like that. You need to define it. Based upon that, like whatever we are doing, like in that particular name, and then we need to determine the label. Whatever you want to determine, and then you need to create and open. This is one way of creation. Another way, you need not to open all the existing things and all. Just like what you can do is like this. There is a section right. Here you can right click on it and then like here itself you will create and you will get and create an icon. Like from here also you can create. The same window will be open for you. If you want to directly create. Directly, if you don't want to open this and another, there you here. You don't want to go and click on create me. Directly wherever rule, like in this category, whichever rule you wanted to clear, directly you can hover. You need not to select, just like what you need to do is like on keeping your cursor on top of it, right click and then create. These are all rule set version. Is it already created or default? These are already completely created sections in Pega. Every application will have like, you will not until you are working on scratch application. Most of the application will have all the rule like a maximum rules they have created till now. If you take your application also like in Bank of America, like they might be working for like last 5-6 years in that application. Like they will be having like lots of sections, lot of activities, lots of rules they will be having. Whenever you click on sections in the records, you will be finding like this widget, like where it will be having more rules. And like if you wanted to see any rules, you can just click on it and then you can see like whatever rules you need. Like it will open the existing rules that like you can able to make what is the existing rules displayed. Everything you can make it. Like actually my doubt is like how well know that we really need to apply here. Like is it mentioning something somewhere or actually we need to decide. Suppose if the requirement like their clients they are saying like they wanted like one screen where first name, last name and all we need means immediately like we need to our mind should go section. We can create like that. You need to think. Most probably. Most probably this kind of section is all created by someone or is. Correct. Like already existing things someone will be creating. Like suppose you've got any new requirements you need to create as part of that one. As a developer, we only need to create right. Like we only need to create this new sections like whatever. Suppose they are saying like if we create it in first name and last name, like we need to show the data automatically. Whenever like we launch on screen, automatically in the first name, last name. The customer name should be filled automatically. The customer need not to fill it. Like whenever he logs in automatically, the customer needs to fill it. For that, like we can use data transfer. Data transfer is one of the rule, like where it will manipulate the data from one place to another place. Like that it is like that we can use it and we can achieve that functionalities. We can use data transfer. Like we will see like about those things. And if you see here, before going to like, just explain me that ECG, I think, and ENG, what is the difference between these technologies? Like ECG and ENG. Enterprise claim technologies and where you are using like this thing. Actually, they assign me like ENG enterprise. Next chain of like claim technologies. No, actually it is not generic one. It's related to your organization. Actually, every organization will have different classification of their category. Like you are saying that ECG and ENG. Like it is like enterprise level engineering, like those kind of things it will be. Another thing, it will be consulting level. Like what does it mean is like you will be the building your application based upon some consulting services providing to other people. Like example, like you will be dealing only with insurance kind of one framework or like you kind of consulting. Consulting means like some kind of a service providing applications, various like another thing. Like you will be building out every out and out functionality like for the end user usage. Like classification. Example in TCS they have certain classification. Capgemini like Cognizant like that. They have different classification for the Pega projects. I think in and G someone guys told me like it's the next gen of like ECG is like we are claiming on debit and ENG is claiming on like credit card. Now they are moved to it's the next generation. Like that's why they differentiate this debit and credit cards in this way. Like actually it's not a some common terminology like based upon my actually I were like different kinds of companies will have different kinds of verticals for it. Like a BFSA, they will be saying what is mean by BFSA is like banking finance sector insurance. Banking finance insurance. Like and then they will be saying that are not. Another thing is like a consulting service kind of things and that. Like what they will do is like they will carry different project in each domain and then they will assign people to different next gen kind of and you're saying like engineering next gen those kind of the vertical one it will be doing and then they will be working on different kinds of fund requirement. Actually people are working on Pega 7 right now. Pega 7 tree they are working actually. And for credit, they are actually working on Pega 8 or forward the data. Like I mean which one you have mapped. I want to Pega 8. Pega 8 or above that. Pega is the latest in a like Pega 7. We don't have advanced functionality. They will only migrate. Who are now using Pega 7? Like within 1 year. They need to migrate. Else, like Pega, most of the features, they will be using our world only. Many companies, they spend more budget on migrating only. Because in latest version, they have very least more advanced options. Like if someone asks you what is mean by rule and what is mean by rule, type means you need to be able to differentiate it. Like what is rule is like I told with an example. Section is one rule and like a data table is one, like a decision table is one rule. Decision tree is one rule. These aren't all separate rules. What is rule is like? Rule is that we create a section. That is one rule. Example, you are creating one section where first name, last name addresses them is like, let's take customer details. Customer detail is one of that rule. Like a rule, type is like section. Like creating rule, customer detail is rule and section. And this under section is rule and under section is rule type. Correct. Section is rule type. Under section rule type, you can create multiple sections. Like you can keep customer details. You can create like a candidate details like that. You can create different sections. Like take example of tree like mango tree. Mango tree is rule type and mangoes are rules. Correct. Correct. Same example. Right. That you need to make these two differentiation. They were like suddenly someone asked you from your team, like you create this rule. Like that you ask remains, like you need to ask like what is the rule type. Like then they will say like to. It is data transform, it is distant table, like that the assignment. Then like you need to create like distant table rule. Distant table is rules. No, like this is, those are the rule types only. Like inside that will be rules. If someone asked you to create some rule means you need to ask them like what rule type you need to do. Like they will say like rule type, like section, you do like that. They will say then in section, you need to create like customer details. Inside, you need to create. Like if you take with a practical example, like when you play this game, like this chess game, you and your opponent, like you will be agree, like what you will be agree, like you are following certain rules and conditions. Why? Because like soldier can move only 2 steps, 1 step at a time and keep it in the like. King can move only 1 step. Like queen can move horizontally, diagonally, vertically, everything they can move. But these are the basic instructions, like a basic rules of the Pega. Same thing only you need to implement, like basic rules of chess. Same thing only you need to implement in Pega as well. That is why they given here. If you see here, this is one of the example. Like this is like flow. Like flow is one of the rule. Sorry, flow is one of the rule type. And if you see here, stage 1 flow is the ID. This is like one of the rule. When I maximize it, like if you see flow, this flow is one of the rule type. And here ID is there now. That is the name of this flow. This is like rule. Stage 1 flow. Stage 1 flow is a rule. It is the name. Like I told you example, like customer details, candidate details, same thing. Like here, the name is stage 1. And what is the rule type here? Rule type is flow. Like if you see up, like there are rule type will be their flow. It will be present records and it will be under records only. It will also present under records panel. It will be present under process. It's a process type. Under process, you will have like a flow as a rule. A flow as a rule type you have. Once you click on flow rule type, like you will find like what are the flows existingly. Then if you want to create, you can do it. Understood? Next thing is like automated rule creation in App Studio and Dev Studio Defense. Like if you see here, this is the case, life cycle in App Studio. Like now to like last week, what we did yesterday is like In App Studio, we clicked on case type. In the case type, like what we did is like we added one stage. In that stage, we added one process and one process. We have added multiple steps. Like steps can be considered of anything like collect information, approve or reject anything it can. If you see here, like this is one sample case type where the case type name is just case type. And here we have like stage name is first stage. Process is first process and step is first step. Another step, one more step. This is just an example. Like this is how you are doing, like we have done it in App Studio. Right? We have done it already the like similar way. If when it comes to Dev Studio, like you need to do it manually everything. Like example. In Dev Studio, you won't have like case type in Dev Studio directly like what you will have the case type. But like what it will be, do you need to do is like if you take here like you need to create one flow. Same thing. Same thing. Whatever you created here in the stage process steps in App Studio, if you want to do it in Dev Studio means. Like what you need to do is like you need to create like one new rule and you need to keep some name. It doesn't first process and then like what you need to do is like you need to add all the shapes. Like this is also word. This will work in the same way. Like whatever you previously, we started App Studio. But that one automatically it will create. But here manually you need to create this. Manually like we need to select the shape from. Correct. We need to click plus and then we need to add a start and end shape and in between two processes means two process, first step, second step, like two steps, three steps are there. Three steps, first step, second another step and one more step. But actually, if you are saying it can't be done, if we create the case type, it case type means it's simple, like you need not to just like automatically. Pega provides this template for you. What you will do is like you will change the name to first stage until here you will click and you will add first process and you will click on add like that you will do and then you will add the three steps right. Can develop in two way by like that flow chart, by flow making and by case life as well. There are two types. You can do it like whatever. If you do it in case type like you, automatically this flow will be created for you. Automatically flow. But actually you are saying that we need to do manually. Suppose like if you doesn't use App Studio and if you are using Dev Studio and you don't want case type means directly like what you can do. You can manually create this flow shape. See like completely you are doing in App Dev Studio only. What you need is like you don't need any kind of case type. For that, like what you will do is like manually, you need to create a flow for that and you need to achieve that requirement. You can see practically. The main things like, it's like whenever you create a rule, like you need to have different kinds of and categories and categorization. Suppose whenever you are creating a new rule, this is like one of example. I will say here like if you see under Record Explorer, under processes like we have flow. Like flow is one of the rule type like a flow is one of the rule type. Whenever I click on the flow rule type, it will open whatever the existing flows already there. Like if I want to create any new flows like what I will do is like I will just click on create and widget will be open for me. This is like flow rule and this is like rule type. Rule type is flow and then I'm going to create a rule like I'm going to create test to flow. This is like one of the rule. If you see here, while creating what and all it is asking a context it is asking and the class name. This is applied to means class name and the rule set and rule set version. Like here you need to do while creating this. You need to be very much careful and you may be very much confident like what is that rule set and rule set version you are going to work on. Suppose a context, basically what Google is, or context is nothing but your application. Suppose like if you see here our application name is Google dot. Here like in your Bank of America, whatever application name is there. In that like you will create and context that like complete application. Whatever your application is mapped, it will run in that, like it will completely run particular application. We can put like C best is what? C basements, like it is like a framework rules. Like it won't be like in your application rules. If you see here like a completely, if you are seeing there is no rule sets available only. Basically this rule set applicable only on Google Road or it can be used anywhere. Like you are wish. If you wanted to use it in like a Pega platform also, you can use it. But like what it need to be, there is like you need to create a rule set and rule set version. This will be taken care of, a lesson. They will say you are not the right person to decide like in what rules that you need to work and all. Like they will only decide like what is the rules that you need to create this rule and what is the version for the current development. Like that they will decide and then you need to create, and that way I apply it to like they all. We have lots of options easier. Apply to it all. It's nothing but the class name. Like what? Where you need to this flow. Whether it is like a new vendor service, that one. It's basically class name. We are using flow. Flows like why, in which, like example I'm creating and flow. Like where I need to use it. I need to use it in a session request or new vendor or service. I need to do. Like reusable means I can use it in work class. You want to. Reuse means that like all the case types can be, this flow will be using all the case type. Here, if you take like add to rule set, this is called rule set and rule set version. For example, like here the context is Google Road because your application is Google Road. Like whenever you are using the rule set, like it will be saying like what are the different kinds of rules that are available. Like based upon your requirement, you can use that right rule set. Rule set is like whenever you create on this, like in this particular application Google Road, in the Google Road rules, like you will have like many kind of rules available. And then rule set version. Like what is mean by what more money here is like, suppose you are working in agile methodology. In agile methodology, what will be the design is like every 2 weeks you need to deliver something. Like 2 weeks, like you will be taking on work. Like next week, another, next 2 weeks you will be taking with different work. Within 1 week, you need to deliver all your works. Like what you will do is like first time, like you will be developing your version in 101. Like a next time, like what you are going to do is like you are going like the I will say with an example, like a kernel is working in agile methodology. Like, first thing is like there are two processes. One is agile process and one is a waterfall. You need to know. I just read it before 6 months. Actually, I know the difference. Waterfall is basically the simple process. We are not doing any kind of changes here. Like if you want to do any changes in between, we need to start from first. Is it waterfall process? No. What is midway waterfall is like you don't have any like a particular immediate deadline. Immediate deadline. They will give one document for you. Like they will give 2 months time. Within 2 months you need to develop that particular document features. Like whatever they mentioned in the document. Like there won't be frequent catch up. Like there won't be frequent stand up call. Like there won't be frequent meetings. Nothing will be there. Where is an agile? Like you have only 2 weeks time. Within 2 weeks, they will ask you to develop one part of functionality. Like within the 2 weeks you need to complete. Testing team need to test it. And then it need to be completed completely, entirely. Within the 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks. But if you get any kind of problem there, then you can change it. But itself. By the moving the, you are taking the. In Agile, you are taking feedback from like. Correct. In Agile, what we'll do is like, every day we will catch up. On entire team will be catch up. Like entire team will consist from master, product owner, business analyst, developers, testers. All the people will be there. Like if you struck. Suppose if you are unaware about the requirement means. Product owner and business analyst will help you. Technically, if you are not aware, means like your developer, technical lead, some kind of person will help you in there. Like anyhow, it is a team activity within 2 weeks. Even if you are struck also, within 2 weeks, your work need to be completed. Other people need to involve and they need to complete your work. One thing is, Agile is like one kind of just process. Or we have software for like Agile or anything. Agile like we have, like one kind of an external board called Jira. Like we'll say it doesn't Jira board. There only like we'll maintain. Like all the like, we'll track all the updates in an Agile terminal. In Jira, there is Scrum Master. Scrum Master, only he will track every day. He will track every day like what you did and what is your progress and what are the blockers. Everything he will track it. Actually, we call Jira as Agile and Scrum Master as what just like guide you or take a report from yourself. No, we won't call Jira as an Agile. Jira is one of the tools. Where, like for Agile methodology, they will use that tool. That's it. In simple way, just Agile methodology used by Jira. Agile methodology, they will use one tool called Jira. Why they're using Jira's like in order to track it. Apart from Jira, we have various board also. Like we have various tools. Like we have Kanban. Like we'll say it doesn't. Kanban board. Jira is one board. Jira board, Kanban board. Kanban is what like we also like. We have both Jira and Kanban. Kanban and Jira like it is similar only. Some pro client they will use Jira. Some client they will use Kanban. It is just a tool like where we will maintain all that our work data. And like every day we will track that data. I don't understand. Basically one kind of app. It's kind of fun. One app like where we will track every day. All of the team members will be tracking. Everything will be tracking there only. Agile is a methodology. Like in Agile methodology, you will be given with a stringent timeline. Suppose like your colonel. Before going like whether you understood about this Agile and waterfall. I know the difference, but basically what is exactly? I'm not at least. Agile means like everyday daily, day-to-day tracking will be there. And like you need to show your progress improvement daily. Like today you are saying 25% completed means tomorrow another 25% should be completed. Like because then only like the story, like the requirement can be completed within the timeline. And basically most of the time the hiring companies, they are putting their journeys like you are using agile process or agile methodologies. Correct. They will ask you like whenever if you are going to new, they will ask you whether you work on agile project or not. They will ask. Why? Because if you work in stringent timeline means like you can work there also. If you are saying no, you are working in waterfall means they will think waterfall means like you will get more time. Like it's your one time. You will say like I need 3 months to develop means 3 months. No one will contact you. Frequent contacts they won't make to you. Understood. Mostly people use agile methodology right now. Nowadays people use agile. Why? Because they have more productivity in agile. They are getting more work done compared to waterfall. That is that main difference. Like suppose you are being assigned to agile project and then what you are doing is like you have like 2 weeks sprint. Within 2 weeks you need to develop in like 2 weeks sprint. Like first sprint will be like 2 weeks. First sprint, they will say it doesn't sprint. They will say like first sprint doesn't do it. Here you got requirement. What requirement you've got is like you need to create. Like you need to have one screen where you need to have like first name, last name, email ID. These details, you need to have it. For that like, what you will do is like you are going to create one section. Section name will be customer details. Like you are creating one customer detail since it is in first sprint. Like what you will do is like you will create in rule situation 1. One more. Like successfully. You completed and then the tester everything it went successfully. Now like first sprint completed. Now second sprint started. In the second sprint, like what happens is like first name, last name, email, ID you did like. Apart from this one, they are saying like you need to add another field called mobile number. And other number. Like what you will do is like you will use like you need to create a new version and you will use like 01, 01 and 02. Why? Because the next step, you need to next step or a rule set version you need to do. Why? Because suppose you are doing in 1 that means already you have 3 fields, right? There might be affecting like existing changes might be affected. Why? Because existing changes already completed, testing also done and it has been completed. Basically, it is one kind of ID for the process. One kind of unique ID for each step. You have to question like each sprint like you will be doing. Why? Because like existing code will not be affected since like you are using 1 means like what it will happen is like existing code will be affected. Sometimes like why I in seconds meant also you are using same version means. Like already you develop first name, last name, email ID now. There will be some effect because of your new changes. In order to avoid that, we will have like new version in the second sprint. And in the second sprint, what you will do is like you will save this route, a customer details. You need not to create again new section, right? Already existing section, only you need to add this to fill. What you will do is like the rule which is in 111, you will save as it. And then like you will create it that in FEN12 and then you will add mobile number and other number. But like if you want to add mobile and other number that we need to just copy the entire thing from zo1 because like you wanted to add these two fields extra in existing code. Like for that only you are going to save this 11221 and then you will add like along below or even you will add mobile number. But actually how to copy that things? I will show you. Now like if you see here like a let's take one section. If you see user heading is there. Like if you see this is some kind of an HTML section. Like I said an example like when one like in based upon different application like different client it will be different. Here like they use like 4-1-1. Already there is an one layout. Like first is there one layer is there. Along with that we need to add like another layer too. For that like in first day requirement like a first sprint we have completed this one and it has been tested. Now like what we need to do is like in the second to 4-1-1-2 we need to add like second another layer. Like what we need to do is like we need to copy it. Here there is an option called Save As. Like when you click on the Save As, like it will be opening new tab and there you can mention. If you see here like here you can mention the name, everything it will be same. Only you need not to change them. Why? Because same customer details, same condition only. But you are going to add another field here. For that like what you need to do is like only that rule set is there. Now that one you can change it. Since it is, we don't have any open rule set for that like here. You see we are getting 1-1-1. Normally in real time. Like if you previously worked on 4-1-1-1, like we'll be getting here as like 4-1-2. Like we'll select 4-1-2 and then we'll click on create and open. Automatically, what it will happen is like we will be opening the particular details. Existing details will be open. There we can add our new details. If you see here like now automatically like it has been copied to Tumping 1-1. Here like what you can do is like I can add another thing like example like I will add like another layout I will add here. Layout 2 has been added. Already layout 1 is from previous version, previous print. Like layout 2 is my new changes. Similar to this one. Already first name, last name, email late is from existing changes and like mobile number, other number is like new changes. You understood, right? That one situation. Like I understood, but I need to get a real time that we just doing one not bad. Correct. Now I'd like we move forward this topic. We can do that. But now I understood. Basically, we need to just change that version in order to not affect the existing. That is the main thing. But are you actually taking, like if we say the whatever date in that field is actually taking at the same here, like changing the version? Everything it will be same. Only version will be changing. Like version, it will be differentiating like the first spring, second spring. That's it. Different version. But all the remaining will be same. Like this class name will be same. The purpose will be same. Rules that will be same. Only the version here, it will be different. I understood. Basically what I thought, that version has this thing. If we change version, then this thing will not be coming to that next version. No. You can just save us. When you are saved us, normally it's an Excel sheet only. Like already some details are there in Excel sheet. You are saving into like you are saving us and you are saving it. Right. Same thing only. Understood. Kind of same. That is what like we will be doing. Like while creating any rule, like your first question, what should be your rule type and what is the rule name? And like then, why you need to give like rule set version class name? By doing this, with this dynamic of this figure is also increases. Correct. Dynamic. This is actually I'm explaining you from completely basic. If you see like here, like a with practical example, I explained like here, they gave like that within some default example. There is no application. Here like we have like rule set A, rule set B, rule set C. Under each of these, like we have like many rules. Like we have many rules. In our example, we saw right, rule set A is like go road. Under go road, like we have many rules. Rules that B is like go road. Like we have many rules like that. We have like different kinds of rule sets and each rule set will have many rules. Like here, like if you see. Like here, this is one rule set go road. Here, like you are creating a rule and with a new section. Like same with go road, you will create multiple rules such as like you will create one data transform. You will create one flow. Like that and all you will be creating. Example, this is a flow right. Here you are creating with go road only. Like if you under one rule set, there will be different rules. Like if you are changing the go road, like again, like it will be different. Like here in this rule set, you can create multiple rules. Basically, these things you need to understand in high level. While what is creating, like why we are creating. That's it. But like you are LSA, like a senior most developers, they will be only saying to you under what rule set and what version you need to develop. You need not to fear like I don't know what is the rule set and I need to develop like that and all you need not fear. That is purely application oriented. That one will be given by like LSA and senior developers. Your knowledge is like if they are saying like develop this particular rule in this particular rule set and rule set version, you need not to wonder, you need not to get surprised that time. That time you need to see this and you need to do. Suppose like today, like example, I am your LSA. I am saying like you create a flow rule, like a flow rule. You create a flow rule like in this particular work class. And then like you create in go road into rule set with 111 like that I'm saying. That time you need to know here only go. Rule set is there. Here only rule. Situation is there. This is code as in class. Like that you need to know. Like if you know that that is enough. You suppose you are asking me what is mean by rule set. Like what is the rule? Set version that time only like it will be like surprise. Like you don't know this also like that they will be thinking. Like if they say like I couldn't create a flow rule with this particular class and in this rule set version like that they are saying means then you know. You just go to Record Explorer. You will click on flow and then you click on create. And then like what you do is like they will give the class name. In that class name, whatever rules that they are saying, you need to click in and you need to click and create a move on that. One thing is like they are providing us that version, rules that version. Actually, they will be LSAs will provide LSAs and developers will provide senior developer. They will provide. Actually, we don't need to do anything like you need to do anything. They will say like what rule situation you need to use. Just about creating. You need to use your correct rule set and version. I had to rule. Set which one you want. Correct. Correct. Which one? They are saying that one. You need to use it here. Actually, it will be mentioned here. Like select rules that this one rules that where they will mention. Like in rules that we have two options Google Road and Google End. Right? Actually, they will mention that you need to select this one. Rules that there. No. They will not mention these things under. Like you need to decide. We need to decide. We means like our technical lead or LSAs need to decide. Actually, they will mention there that basically we don't need to change anything. Correct. They will be mentioning. They will be saying like what is the rules that you need to develop. See, this is like enough and small application. We have only two rules says go road and go going. In real time you are. There will be 5 to 6 rule sets in this drop down. That time you will get confused what to use like that. That time they will say like go use with this first one, use with second one. Like that they will be saying already it will be populating everything. It will populate here. Only your is like you need to use like right kind of rule set and version. That's it. You understood? I understand. That is the thing of rule set and rule set version. That is what they given here. Rule set versioning. Like I told you 101. Like it will be having like this kind of fun. 3 kinds of fun versions. Like a first one is called like last one. We will be classifying this as 3 things. First one will be we will say this as like and we will say this as a minor and we will say last one is like patch. First here, if you see here like first one is lizer, one is like major. Next is there, one is minor and third one is patch. What is mean by major, minor patches? Like suppose, like here, like in this example, if you take the like, what is the change here? Like whether it is minor change or major change, or like totally like it's a new functionality. What is there? What by this requirement, what you understood? It's like patch. It isn't patch. Why? Because like you're not changing any functionality. You're not changing any may like a kind of a minor change. Just like along with existing 3, you are going to add 2. It is very simple change. Like what you are doing is like you are changing the last number alone, like 0, 1, low, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. If it is minor means like you need to have some more new, like a new, like you are going to add any, like a few newer things. Like that thing. What you will do is like you got a requirement. In that way means like what you will do is like you will create a new version in the 1, 2, 2 and then 1. Like that you will be creating. What does it mean? Is like you're doing some kind of fun. You like features, like you kind of in few features, adding those kind of things. And you are doing which, then you will create a new version like this. Like 0. A major means like if you 0, 2, if I put 0, 2 is actually changing the version, like totally the different thing. Totally. If you are keeping 0, 2 in the first means total new feature. It is not related to the thing for completely new. That time what you will do, it is a major thing. That time like what you will need to do is like you need to create like 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, 1. Understood? Minor means like you will change in middle, like very small of change like this, like few fields in the same rule. Means like patch version. You understood the difference, right? Like this is only for your exam orientation. Like normally, you won't do this kind of changes in your application. Like the LSAs will be saying, you will be informing these things. Like this is one example. Bob is one of the developer working in first version of an application. Like what he does is like he's creating. He will create a rules in first version of the application. Like such as like any kind of UE's notifications process. Like everything he will be doing in 01, low 1, 01. After several iterations like in seconds, bin third, sprint for spring. He did some small minor change, like example, if you have some bug fixing, adding one new field, those kind of thing. He did a 10105. Like after 7 months or after some 5 to 6 months, like another developer comes into play. What they want to do is like they want their enhancing their UI. They wanted to collect extra information due to some policy change. What they will do is like it is kind of a minor change. Like they will be developing in 10201. Then like she will use this as like updated versions here. Same example. What I was said there. Like here, same thing like 2 developers. He is working like some. You like a first name, last name, like that he was doing. Like what he was doing in first sprint. He used 111. Next sprint 112. Like that, 5 sprints completed. 5 sprints till that, he used like 115. Now like they didn't make any change after that. They left it. And like after 6 months, like another developer comes into play. And now she's being informed like she need to do like some additional feature. Like she need to make some additional information where there to some policy change. She need to add some additional information. For that, like latest version. What she sees is like 115. She cannot create 116 and she cannot do it. Like what she will be doing is like she will be creating completely new 01, 02, 01 as a new minor function. And then she will be making the changes. I understand. Again, in her version, like if she is me facing, like same thing, like some u minimum changes mean. What she will do is like 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1. She's doing like now. She will be doing like 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, like that, like last patch, personal, and she will change. First 2, she will keep in the same way here. That is the if the completely new feature. Like not the same version. Completely new features mean. Like it would be completely like a first one. You will change like 2, 2, 0, 1, 0, 1, like that. This is like application version name. We have to do the next topic and next topic. Actually, we are using SQL here, bigger like find out. We are using SQL or language or not. Actually, like SQL, we need not to create anything automatically like. That is the advantage of Pega, right? Like, you need to configure only automatically. It will create code for you. SQL backend database on the Oracle SQL code for you. If you want to find any record that we need to like, put query there. Nothing like if you want to find any records. Just like what you can do is like you have multiple ways to find the record. You in the technical, there will be an activity. Like just in using activity, you can find it. Example, like I'm opening any of the activity. This is one of activities that will type and I'm opening one of the activity role. Like here you can find like a what do you want to open? Like you can open here, like you can have some configuration. Example. Here you have a various methods, right? Like what you will be doing is like example, like in the first step, like if you want to find anything which you can click on down arrow. Here, like you will have like all the here you can call Java step. Also here you can open the database, connect integrations, everything you can do it. Here, if you see like object, open, object, browse and other right. Like if you click on object, open it will. You can click on this. When you do that, like when you expand it, you can mention that database table name. That database table name. If you can give her open class. If you're mentioning that the class name is automatically this, it will open that database. It will check and it will open the class name and what property you can open. That also mentioned here. Actually, is it necessary? We need to know SQL language or no? Is it not compulsory? It's not compulsory. Like see, you don't need to have any kind of basic coding knowledge or SQL knowledge. Nothing. Like if you have basic, very basic means, it's fine, but you don't need like any kind of a deeper understanding of it. Oh, basics, you know, right? What is mean by Java? What is mean by SQL? Like, create a star table, insert star table, like that, basic conditions, right? With that, you can compare and you can do it here. But you need not to know anything in detail. Even like, see, like I don't know anything in detail, like in your school under, but I can able to retrieve all the water and the SQL configuration I can. I want to do everything I will do in Pega. Like because the configuration is very simple. And like I mostly have found some people that are doing a skill queries to find some record and all this thing. That's why. Manually, else you can do for the tells you to have options in Pega. But instead of that, we will be suggesting to use automatic features, whatever they given in Pega. It's the advanced of you going into the now. We can continue to talk. That is mean by this one we discussed, right? Like how to create a rule in Dev Studio. This is a flow record and then one app class name, rule set name. These things identified everything. This one you understand. I understand. And next thing is like a rule resolution algorithm. If you see any rules, you will be having various kinds of fun features. Such as, if you see here, it is like a final rule various. If you see this one, it is available. If you see this particular section, it is available various. This activity is final. What is mean by this? When you click on this one, you will find that one. When you click on final, you have 4 options, 5 options, you have available, not available, block or final withdraw. What here only you can make your status, what you wanted to make. Someone kind of. You want this rule to be available means it feels like it is available to all of them. Suppose you are creating one rule and you are making all of the people should see whatever changes you made. All of the people need to see those things. Then you need to click available here. If we are creating, then it depends on us wanted to see or not. Correct. If you are keeping up available, only all the people will see. If you are not keeping not available, means no one will see. You also won't see in the when you're keeping not available. If I'm not able to see, you also will not available to see when you're keeping not available. Mostly we are final or available. I will say each and everything. What is the meaning? First available means available, it will be available for all. Whenever you are creating a rule as per requirement, you need to create automatically. Pega will create in available only. You need not to disturb it. Whenever you are creating a new rule. Example, here I am creating some new rule I am creating. Whenever I click on create and open, automatically Pega will create the new rule in available status. If you see here automatically, Pega created the rule in available. From here onwards, however you want you can make. See, when available means it will be available to all. The rule. Not available means suppose you made some one big change. In your first sprint, they gave you one requirement and then you made some very big change. You had spent 2 days of time and you made some big change. Later they are saying they don't want that rule. As of now, in third sprint, they will come back and they will make those things. They will use those things. The time what you will do. You cannot delete all your changes or you cannot be waste your 2 days spent time again. For that, what you will do is you will give it as not available and then you will check in the code. When you do that one, what it will happen is in runtime, in real time, it won't be clear code. After three springs again, you required right? That time you will make it as an available. That time. Why? Because it not to waste on time. Because 2 days developer you are spending and you are making most complex changes here. There is a project owner. They are saying like we no need these changes. Now, like after 2 months, we'll use these changes like that. And they are saying that time you cannot delete or you're going to discover, it means again 2 months. You need to make it from you. In order to avoid that, like we will keep it as like not available. After 2 months, you can come back and the same rules like you can save us. You can make it save us and whatever rules that you can copy it. You can copy it and then you can make it as unavailable. One thing is like same here. Nothing. Like let's come and next is like block. What is meant by block is like it's not like one rule. Like the same rule like you developed for 5 versions like in patch versions you develop like 1 as well as incentive 5. You develop a 5 version. Like why in the 5th versions? Like if you are seeing like they don't want to use like 5th version of the rule means then you can keep it like in block version. That like it will pick from any lowest version 214. It will be picking. Next thing is like they are blocked further. It is blocked. Like you cannot use that particular rule. Basically, there are blocked for that. Let that we design for the specific word that different rules set. We don't want to use that in anywhere. Correct. Like if you don't want to use anywhere, then you can keep it at a block. Understood. It's like if anyone want to use that, they're showing the pop-up notification. Correct. Like we will show a pop-up notification. This rule has been blocked. You cannot use like that. You will be getting. Those people will be getting. Like next is like final. Final, what is mean by final is like it is in car Pega generator. These things are under. Like we have not generated this one Pega given to us. Like whenever there will be some rules, like it will be provided with Pega systems. Like whatever client we are working, a Pega system provides some of the rules. Those rules will be called as a final. Because we cannot reuse this final rule anywhere. If I'm giving a save as and like I'm doing something means. If you see it will not allow. It's basically a depend on. Because like Pega designed it as it gave up, Pega gave us as a final rule. Final rule means it is a final. It isn't completely final rule. Last, more than this, like you cannot edit or you cannot make any updates. If you want, you can use this rule in the same way. If not, you can design the same rule in any other version, name in different way. But you cannot save us into any other things. This one. If we have like, first we create and open there. That time they are provided like available. That time we can change from available to final. Is it possible? You can change. But after that you cannot make it. That will be the final change. After that final change, you cannot make any change. Normally, you will not make your own rule. Whatever you are creating as final, only the Pega. Whatever they created, they will give it as a final. Whatever you are creating, it will be like available, not available, blocked or withdrawn. Any of this you can use. Like after final, if you want to make changes, then we don't. We need to create one more. We cannot do that one. Like in final is the final. Like final means what? Lost final. That's it. Like after final, there is no other changes. Like if you want to create changes, then we need to delete that process and make new one. No, like finally, you can keep it same thing. Like it is Pega provided. You cannot delete also. You will not have an option to delete also. Like you need just you. You don't want to use this one means you can create new activity. Like from basics, like you can click on activity, click on create, and then you can click on activity and whatever steps they are using, you can just copy it. Like you can, just like what you can do is like just you can right click copy and then you can go to this new activity and then you can paste it. And what about the step that we created earlier? Like final. That we can delete or not? No, we cannot delete. See, this one we have not created. This activity, we are like a developers like in your application. No one created. This is a Pega. Like when you are using Pega tool, Pega provides license right. That time they will give you this kind of fun, final rules to you. Why they are giving means, suppose like if they wanted to use without making any changes means you can use that rule. But in the same way, we need to return this back to them. That like we will not touch anything. It will be in the same thing. But you want like whatever they are using, you want in your own way, then you can use it. Final, basically Pega provider rules. You don't think you are wrong. It isn't Pega provider rule. And one more thing was Pega is cloud based. Actually, we are not facing any storage problem here. Correct. We will not face anything. We will not face anything. Because like Pega, like it provides like all these final rules in certain kind of cache memories. Like we won't occupy those kind of fun space. Like this is the final status and the next status. What is the next status is like, I think we don't know. What is mean by withdrawn is like what you're doing is like zor 1. Like first sprint, you develop in 01 Z1. Second sprint 2. Third sprint 03. Fourth sprint Z4. Now like you are in 50 sprint. In 50 sprint like what you are doing is like they are saying like you do your rule. They don't want in any kind of circumstance. Like whatever you develop, you don't want to do any kind of like, you don't want any of the rules from 01 to 04. They are saying like you don't want. They don't want any of the rules to be called. Completely, they wanted like new rules only. Like what they are doing and will do is like we'll create a new version 010105. And here we will make the status as withdrawn. What it will do is like 105. Like whatever the changes are there. And the below version 04321, whatever you made, completely it won't pick. It won't pick any time. Like if the same rule if it existing 010106 means. Then like your latest question will be picked from 0106 from 05 to 1. Nothing will be picked. Because like completely like we have withdrawn all this from 5 to 1. We haven't done it. Like we're going to miss, like we are deleting. It's not basically deleting. The rule will be present only in and pick up. It will not pick up at any circumstance, any time. It will not pick. It's kind of deletion only. It will not show to any user. It may any circumstance. If you put withdraw there. Understood. Like withdraw also at like the same little bit final procedure that it will be stuff here. We have a final rule is like a completely Pega driven. We don't have any control. But here like we only create it from 1 to 5. Like we are only making like this. 1 to 5 is not required. Like we are making withdraw. If you need not to make withdraw in all the version, like the latest version, if you make withdraw means that particular version and the below version will be completely deleting. Like complete deleting means in backend, like you will be having in Pega, but it won't pick in the runtime. Like if you have latest version, 1.16 means whatever changes you have in this 7.16, this changes only. It will be shown to the user. But basically, whatever the changes, like when it would in Zor 5 version, that almost the same thing will be copying Zor 6 and some changes in Zor 6. Correct. That those changes will be shown to the user. Understood? Why we use withdraw? But basically is we use withdraw. You are asking why we are using withdraw. With like instead of sitting and deleting like from 1 to 5. Like if you are making withdraw in the current version, means all the 5 rules that it will remove from your application. Understood? Like if you don't use withdraw. Basically, if you don't use withdraw, like you need to delete individually 1 to 5 everything. That like latest version will be picked up from 1.16. I understood. If you don't know, fine with that. For that purpose only we have you withdraw. We just need to file one. Correct. Someone is asking what the withdraw status will do means like you need to say like it will not pick the current rules below rule sets completely. It will pick only that rule set which is latest version above the withdrawn version, like that you need to say. Understood? Like you will be getting in exam as well. They will be giving 5 rule sets. And in 6th rule set, they will make a test withdraw. And they will say like which rule set version will be picked in runtime, like they will ask. Like in the same example they will give, and they will say like this only they will give, and they will give like a 5th test withdrawn, and they will say like now user need to access the changes. Like what is the change? Like what is the rule situation user will access like that. You should not say like 1/14 ln 11 like that. Your answer should be less 16. The current rule set where it is withdrawn. The current rule set and the below like at what is below of 513321 is the below. Complete. All this will be like remove the block, like it won't be shown to the users. I understand. That is about the Pega introduction like Dev Studio introduction rule. What is mean by rules? Rules types availability, rule set creation, rule set versioning. Those things only like introductions. Those things only like introductions. Those things only like introductions. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.